Jungle.
Hello friends, how are you? This is me, Shoukat Lohar, and you're watching my YouTube channel, Shoukat Lohar Official. Today's video is about improving English language proficiency. And we have seen that after 16 years or 18 years of education, we are unable to speak English, or we are unable to write good English, and we are unable to understand English and respond positively or respond in a good manner, because English in our context has been used for the purpose of only power or to show off, but not for the purpose of language use. So I am telling you few important tips, few important ingredients which you have to use or utilize in your life, and without remembering or memorizing too many grammar articles, grammar items, you could speak and you could write, you could listen, you could understand very well. How so? Suppose my own experience to you is this, that we people were taught these parts of speech, tenses, active voice, passive voice, direct, indirect, and so many things, but we were quite unable to speak English or quite unable to write a single paragraph. But later on, when we realized that this is not a good way to speak English, this is not a way to learn English in a well-mannered way or a scientific way of learning any language, because we have seen that language is not much more towards start, but language is much more towards cut. So that's why the first very important thing I am telling you, you have to be focused on, that is of listening English. Because unless you are listening any language, you cannot improve. Listening is imperative, listening is very necessary, listening is mandatory. Suppose take the example of a child. If that child cannot listen even 2 years or 3 years, that a child is listening so many words, afterwards that child is capable of uttering 2 or 3 words. So this is what the example that we have to keep in our mind, and we have to continue listening. For listening purpose, what you need to do is this, that you have to watch documentaries, you have to listen to them carefully, how the words are being pronounced, and you have to listen the commentary, you have to watch certain videos on cosmology, on some other things, or even then of your own interest, you could see them and try to understand that what are they saying. Even on Netflix or some other things are there where we have the subtitles, you're reading them, but listening works a lot. And in listening, though we encounter with number of other words, but also we encounter with number of phrasal verbs as well, and then we have to know them, that what is their meaning and what is their understanding. So listening is very necessary. Even then other so many things are there, videos are there, out of that you could listen to and you would improve, because listening plays a very important role, a pivotal role in learning any language of the world. It's not applied only on English language, but many languages of the world. So first thing is listening, and on a second I have kept the number of vocabulary building. Now for vocabulary building, means you need lots of words. Suppose any situation is there, you have to create a situation. Suppose a doctor or patient, a policeman and a thief or criminal, or suppose a shopkeeper and a customer, or so many other situations you could create, and then you need vocabulary regarding this. For vocab, you have to generate that vocab from ChatGPT or some other sources are there. You have to collect that vocab from them and then do use that vocab in your sentences. Minimum requirement is this, that you have to remember or memorize 5 words. Memorization, okay, fine. If you are memorizing, then fine. But if you are using into sentences, that makes it workable. So do that thing. That is one of the best trick or best drill to learn English language. So that's why do this thing and you will be capable of learning English language very effectively. And on third, I have kept speaking. The most crucial thing is that whenever we people are learning or when we listen to other people, that how are they speaking English language, we are highly attracted of that we could be capable of speaking English language so effectively that could be impressive one. But language is not much more towards impressing somebody, but language is something that other person could understand it. So for speaking, I give you a tip in a way that you have to rehearse, that you have to practice yourself before a mirror. You should stand 2 or 3 minutes and you have to rehearse, you have to practice yourself, and you have to try to overcome on certain difficult words, difficult pronunciation, difficult situations, and that would be beneficial for you. And then there are diligent way of learning language speaking. And then if you find a person, definitely we do not live in an environment where English speaking is very common. It's not supposed to be English speaking country. Every second or third person is speaking our languages. That is the best thing, but for the purpose of, because if you are going abroad or somewhere else, you have to speak it. So that's why if you find any person, do speak to him or her, and without any creating shame or without any shyness that you face. So that's why if you are speaking to, there should be reciprocation, or the dialogue should take place. Suppose you have to select one topic, and on topic you have to talk about, suppose take the example of that two person are speaking, you are talking about climate change, you're talking about inflation, you're talking about road accident, you're talking about you know uh, price hike, you're talking about education system in Pakistan, you're talking about how to improve writing skills, you're talking about how to overcome obesity, you're talking about how to reduce your weight. Suppose there are so many topics or so many issues or the problems that we can talk to. Even then in our country there are so many problems, so that's why we can talk to them and we can improve our English so effectively that in a very few days you could see that how you are learning this language, and you would proud of yourself that with a limited time you have learned this thing. And then I have kept another format, that is of write about writing. Bacon says the writing makes a man perfect. Now, why it has been said that writing makes men perfect? In a sense that writing something, yes, you are documenting it. It is half remembered. It is acted upon. So that's why writing is very necessary. Now, for writing, what are you doing? If you are incapable of even writing a sentence, whenever you are using sentences into a paragraph, that would be a wonderful thing, that you are writing a daily diary, you are writing a reflection, you are suppose describing an event, you are describing a story, you are describing an event, you are describing certain scenes are there in life. We are suppose from dawn to dusk we meet a number of things. So that's why if you are going to describe any event, like in 10 sentences, in 15 sentences, in 20 sentences, let's say that that is a free writing. There is no name for that one, that is a paragraph, that is an essay, or that is this and that, but that is actually your own reflection what you're writing. So that would contribute a lot in your learning English, or that would make perfection in a way when it is said that writing makes a man perfect. But not necessary that you have to inculcate writing in your work and include it, and you would learn English language so rapidly. That would be a good thing. And then another thing is that is reading. Reading, suppose a new or the basic or the beginners, for beginners that has to need to read with the basic short paragraphs, of newspapers. Newspaper items are the English newspaper. You would see the headings are there. First you have to correct the headings, and then you have to go into deep into the news item, and you have to read it, that what is being written, what is this incident is about. You have to read it, and you will be capable of understanding it, making comprehension that would re-strengthen your mind regarding your reading. So, and then afterwards you have to go on opinion pages where letters to editors, one thing is there. So that's why you read those things, and this would make you capable of person that would be good one in English language learning. And then further about reading, yes, you have to start it with you reading short stories. Like you can read Aesop's short stories. Aesop's fables are there, and then short stories are there. There are many short stories in the world, like Anthony Chekhov is there, O Henry is there, Hemingway is there, and even then in Pakistani short story writers are there, those who are writing in English. You have to start reading them into English, and that would be a wonderful asset of reading. Suppose if you do not have interest reading long lengthen articles of newspapers, you should read short stories. You should read short pieces in the form of newspaper items or other sources. So that would be a wonderful advantages and beneficial for improving English language. Last thing is that repetition of all these things. If you are repeating all these things, and then I would just demand that you have to associate only 30 minutes every day. Let's suppose that if one day is skipped or one day is gone, suppose you did not give improving English language, or you did not practice or rehearsal, fine, but at least even if you are doing it one or two skill one day and one or two skill on other day, uh, that would be also an unprecedented thing in your life and would contribute a lot in learning English language, rather than learning of starting English from reading grammar or sort of conjugations and hard rules of tenses or parts of speech, or so many things which you are not attracted of. We have seen that we have been taught English in a way that we become anti-English, or we become anti-language. So all languages are beautiful like that of others. English is also a beautiful language. Even I would suggest you to listen to music in English. You should watch movies in English. Try to understand that what the dialogue is going on, what is the situation, how are they saying. One time or two time you would be stuck off that you won't understand, but in second time or third time you would be capable of understanding things so effectively, so supposed to be unprecedentedly. That would be a marvelous contribution in learning a new language. That's why these are some of the ingredients which you have to include in your routine and learn this new language. In this way you would be capable of that not only you would achieve instrumental suppose achievements regarding English language, like getting good grades, getting high rank jobs, or appearing in certain competitive exams. And also if you are going abroad, you are appearing in IELTS, TOEFL, GRE, or these type of exams, it would contribute a lot in these exams as well. And then when you would go abroad, you would feel delighted to talk to the person, talk to the people over there. So that's why these are some of the tips that you have to inculcate, and then just devote 30 minutes to yourself, and you should be suppose beneficial by learning this language. So at the end I would ask you to subscribe my YouTube channel and hit the bell icon. Thank you very much.